LA This Week.
A house that runs completely off the grid? I'm Anna Marcos. We'll show you this and other clean technologies of the future as city leaders open the Kretz Innovation Campus. More on that coming up.
The LA Conservation Corps, Chrysalis, and about a dozen other service providers are being honored for their ongoing fight to battle homelessness. I'm Gil Reyes in downtown LA with the story.
An event that started in the 1990s to promote walking has become a huge international day across the world. I'm Rasha Goel, and that story's up next.
Hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yana Kay. If you were looking for and found a job last year, then you joined many other Angelenos who've helped grow LA's economy. From jobs to wages, the yearly forecast from LA's largest business advocacy group shows the city is headed in the right direction. But the group also says certain steps must continue to keep the momentum going. Gil Reyes has more.
The good news is the city experienced steady economic growth, according to the latest study released by the Los Angeles Area Chamber of Commerce.
The progress that was recorded by a number of members of the council when they spoke to us earlier this morning is exciting news. We are making progress.
The Chamber CEO, Gary Tobin, discussing results from the Beacon Economics Report for September 2014 to 2015. Citywide, private sector employment was up 2% to 1.4 million jobs. Some of the biggest job gains were in construction. Some of the biggest losses were in education. Annual wages were also up over 1%. And this increase came even before the minimum wage increase kicked in July. Looking at individual city council districts, Councilman Mike Bonin's West Side District came out the big winner. It had the fastest job growth during that one-year period, thanks mostly to the Silicon Beach tech boom. Councilman Jose Huizar's District 14, which covers much of downtown, retained the title of most total jobs in the city. All in all, 13 of the 15 LA City Council districts experienced growth. And the LA Area Chamber of Commerce says that growth will continue if the city continues to follow through on some key recommendations, among them continued expansion of LAX, continued construction of both affordable and market rate housing, and also further reductions to the gross receipts tax, all recipes for success, according to the Chamber. Outside City Hall, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Unemployment countywide has also fallen below the national average to 4.8%. As unemployment falls and more people find work, the city still faces one of its biggest challenges: homelessness and the growing tents and makeshift shelters on our streets and sidewalks. You see them on Skid Row, but they're also on the other side of town in Venice Beach. And now, Councilmember Mike Bonin's plan to fight homelessness in his district is hitting some roadblocks in the neighborhood. Anna Marcos explains.
Homeless encampments have popped up in every corner of Venice and LA, but Councilmember Mike Bonin's plan to face the problem head-on in the Beachtown community drew a heated response at a recent community meeting.
Venice actually is a hazmat zone. It's a vector of disease. It is a dangerous, murderous place.
Bonin has created an 18-point plan for Venice, adopted from the city and county homeless strategies. But major sticking points for Venice residents include the construction of supportive housing in their neighborhoods and a so-called street strategy, which would provide storage facilities for the homeless, among other things. Many residents say not in their neighborhoods.
It's unconscionable to me as a mother, to the parents of École Clairefontaine, a preschool that has a multiple number of 2 to 5-year-olds, and to the parents of Westminster Elementary School, to those children of color, it's unconscionable to us that you're just ignoring our fears and our plights. I've been mugged in the area. My daughter and I have been harassed.
Your office is choosing the homeless situation over the safety of our children.
We feel like we were hoodwinked. Someone called the office only to find out that it's a done deal. It's in process, nothing you can do about it.
We expect sensitivity to our neighborhoods, Mike, please.
I need to take some action about the crisis of encampments in our neighborhoods.
But some residents applauded Bonin's plan and even ranted at their neighbors.
People care more about cats and dogs than they do about homeless people.
Frankly, I was a little disheartened by what I saw here tonight, which looked like a lot of angry white people holding torches and shouting, "Kill the monster." Really, I've never experienced so much hate.
It's time to do something. Every day we wait, it's gonna get worse.
And there was the community member who was once homeless.
Look at me now, you know. So it can be done. Thank you.
Others questioned why LA allows homeless encampments at all, while neighboring cities do not. Bonin's answer, federal court judges. The city of LA has been hit with lawsuits on homelessness, and federal courts have often ruled for the homeless, saying LA can't tear down encampments unless it provides better options. Among the many court decisions that tie city leaders' hands.
If we remove any belongings, we have to, LAPD and sanitation, need to put each thing into a separate bag, tag it, and store it for 90 days. And if someone wants it back, the city has to bring it back to them.
LA city leaders seem to be at a crossroads, find the funds to create better homeless services, or give up their ability to enforce laws, and maybe even give up federal funding. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
Bonin says his storage proposal is only temporary, and he will listen to other options if it doesn't work. For more information on his homelessness plan, visit 11thdistrict.com. Well, finding places to sleep is just one of the many problems faced by the homeless. And another worry is getting ticketed. Having no money to pay, it becomes that much harder to get off the streets. But over the past year, more than 100 tickets have been stricken from the books. If the homeless work it off. Gil Reyes has details from Pico House. Gil.
Well, Janet, here at downtown LA's Pico House, we honor some of the unsung heroes in the battle against homelessness, who, with the help of the LA City Attorney's Office, helped to dismiss, eradicate, throw out hundreds of citations issued to the homeless. And all the homeless have to do is show up and volunteer for community service. Not long ago, Santiago Baizan was overwhelmed with $8,000 in traffic fines.
Moving violations, no insurance, no registrations, and no license. That was the first ticket that I got.
Tickets he couldn't pay were the least of his worries. Baizan was also homeless, but all that has changed.
You know, you're doing okay. I'm doing great. I'm doing awesome.
He can thank LA's homeless citation clinics, the homeless visit centers like this one in Sylmar, to have all fines forgiven. The clinics are organized by City Attorney Mike Fewer.
We're going to work together to eliminate the impediments to those most basic elements in your life, but you have a role to play. You need to perform community service.
In its first year, the clinics have dismissed 347 citations. In exchange, the homeless perform community service. This may include tree plantings, graffiti removal, and street cleanups, with partners like the LA Conservation Corps. Oftentimes, community service with the Corps leads to full-time jobs.
We're a prosecutorial office among many things, but prosecution alone is not always the solution to a serious problem.
Fewer, who's making national headlines for a settlement in the Wells Fargo bank account scandal, keeps the focus local today, honoring other community service providers like New Directions, Saban Community Clinic, Chrysalis, the Weingart Center, and Project 180.
Project 180 has been one of our longtime partners. One of their folks is now on track for a full-time job for the first time in his life with Goodwill. Thank you, Project 180.
Thanks to the Corps, Baizan graduated from college, is living with family, and has an electrician's job lined up later this fall.
Be the change that you want to see in the world. It all starts with oneself.
At Pico House, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
In the last year, LA's 12 homeless clinics have served nearly 1,300 homeless or formerly homeless individuals. Well, turning now to the city's efforts to move towards 100% clean energy. Rasha Goel has more on a recent groundbreaking motion that may set an energy roadmap for other cities.
An exciting day at City Hall as the LA City Council passes a motion calling for the LA Department of Water and Power to stop using coal, oil, and natural gas for good.
The hard work is figuring out how do we get there? How do we get there in a way that continues to create reliability of our electricity source? How do we get there in a way that's not going to be unduly burdensome on the poorest and most vulnerable and working class families throughout Los Angeles? How do we get there in a way that achieves our environmental goals?
Through the legislation led by council members Mike Bonin and Paul Krikorian, the LADWP will form a research team with energy experts, local universities, and other stakeholders to identify the best way to transform from fossil fuels.
We're going to come up with a roadmap, and we will determine what all the roadblocks are on the way to crossing that map. And we're going to, one by one, do the work to remove them.
The LADWP will have 90 days to deliver a timeline for the study. Advocates say it's important that the plan covers all angles.
We want to make sure that not only do we get to 100% clean energy, but that we do it in an equitable way that creates good jobs, that means that everyone has access to clean energy, which is not the case right now.
Officials say as the LADWP is set to consider upgrades to its 100-year-old power system, this is a good time to explore setting up a renewable energy grid. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
The vote makes LA the largest city in the country to explore a 100% clean energy mandate. While the clean energy movement is also heating up in downtown LA, now think of it as an incubator for all the clean and green technologies that'll be created in the future. LA stands to be at the forefront of clean and green as it opens the new Kretz Innovation Campus. Anna Marcos is on hand to take a look around. Anna.
Yana, this replica of a house is completely off the grid. There is no electric power. It runs on solar and battery power, and it is completely automated. Here's an example. Watch the lights. Alexa, turn on the house lights. Everything here, the appliances, the lights, are all run on command. It is one of the visions of the future here at the Kretz Innovation Campus. No electric power.
No, it wouldn't need any. It would get it from the solar panels.
LA is aiming high with its clean and green dreams. The new Kretz Innovation Campus will be the hub for clean technologies. Startup companies will create and hatch new inventions here. The partnership between the DWP and the LA Clean Tech Incubator, a nonprofit group, will help guide Angelenos to the green economy of the future.
This is an incubating space for new companies that are making the world greener, addressing climate change, dealing with water and the drought, and making sure that we have better supply of clean energy because we want the jobs of the future to be in LA.
Crazy ideas become reality here. Water harvested from the air? They're working on it. Energy generated from almond shells? You bet. It's here.
We actually take in waste from California, and there's a lot of agricultural waste that is not used right now, and we're turning it into clean electricity. Actually, almond shells from California are right now powering this building.
And the creators hope this innovation hub just keeps growing.
We've had 60 companies with us, but in the future, I think we're going to have 500, 5,000 companies. I mean, we're going to build a clean tech corridor. We're going to make the city into a green economy.
By the way, that fully automated house that's off the grid, you can convert your own home sweet home. The price tag, about $50,000. But worry not. LADWP is waiting with all kinds of rebates for those looking to make their homes, lifestyles, and appliances clean and green. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
For more information on LADWP rebates, visit ladwp.com. As we all know, getting into college isn't easy. It's especially hard for kids in LA's poorest neighborhoods. So how do you get them into college? Well, you put college-bound programs near them. A new program called College Corners is now popping up at family resource centers all over LA. Anna Marcos has more.
Angel Andrade is getting an extra boost as he applies for college.
What I want to study is social work. I like working, I want to work with kids and, just help them perfect themselves. It's because, I was helped, and I like how the people that helped me, made me progress.
Andrade is one of the many college-bound students who are finding extra support at so-called college corners, which help students in disadvantaged neighborhoods.
I just really want something different because my mom was a housekeeper and she still is, so she supported me for whatever I want to do right now.
So you want to do better in your life?
Yeah, I want to do better, yeah.
City leaders kicked off the program just in time for college application season. The College Corners program helps students apply for college and financial aid, get orientations and tours of campuses they're interested in, and just receive all-around help navigating the higher education maze.
That irrespective of who you are and where you come from, the color of your skin or your legal status, every single child in this room and those who live in South LA and East LA and Pacoima and Crenshaw, they deserve dignity and respect, and they deserve access and opportunity to higher education.
Books, college applications, computers, SAT practice sheets. There will be 16 of these college corners at family resource centers all over LA.
Many kids, I have a daughter who just finished high school 2 years ago, and a lot of kids that could go to college and need the services don't get it.
Who wants $1 million? Raise your hand if you want $1 million. All right.
And then Mayor Eric Garcetti issued a jackpot of a challenge to the aspiring college students.
If you graduate from college, you'll earn $1 million more in your life than if you don't.
It seems that just added a little extra motivation to help these kids strive for higher education. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
For more information on various sources of cash for college, visit www.lacashforcollege.org. Well, her father was brutally beaten by LAPD officers, but that hasn't stopped the daughter of Rodney King from helping the department build bridges with communities. Gil Reyes has more from Police Dialogue Days.
It was the first viral video of police aggression before viral video was even a term. The 1991 videotaped beating of Rodney King helped tarnish the department's good guy image. 25 years later, King's daughter, Laura, offers her opinion.
I mean, with any profession, there's good and bad in every profession, not just the police department. I have personal friends that are in law enforcement, and they're great people.
Laura King stands alongside the LAPD during Police Dialogue Days, open conversation between officers and the minority communities they serve. The guests are at-risk youth from the LA Conservation Corps.
One of the main concerns is that they don't trust police. They feel like if they encounter a police officer that they should perhaps run, which is a very dangerous thing to do, that they should resist.
And then we tell them what our fears is, whether, when we're stopping a car, we don't know who's in the car, we don't know what they have, what just happened.
The acquittal of the officers in the King beating sparked outrage in the black community, resulting in the 1992 LA riots. The federal government later convicted 2 of the officers. Reforms at the LAPD soon followed. King also received a $3.8 million settlement. He passed away in 2012. Despite the incident, Laura King holds no grudges. Now a peace activist, she sympathizes with the tough work police do.
They're doing their job. It's frustrating, too, because you don't always get people that cooperate.
Officers admit they have things to work on as well.
You lose that touch of being patient, and so I'd like to gain that back. I'm just to sit down and be able to just fully, actively listen to what someone is telling me rather than reacting without knowing everything.
Corps member Nicholas Boyd says relations would also improve if more people let go of the past.
If people continue to just keep thinking like that, or all police is corrupted, or just police is corrupted, then everyone is going to keep going off of their emotions when something else happens to someone else.
Since we all live together, I don't understand why we can't figure out solutions together.
From Police Dialogue Days, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The LA Conservation Corps hosted the event. The Corps offers at-risk youth second chances with jobs preserving the environment. Well, do you take your kids to school? A lot of us do. With buses, drivers, kids, and bikes on the street, it can get a little chaotic and dangerous. That's why about 200 schools across Los Angeles took part in a safety event that's now being celebrated nationwide. Rasha Goel was there.
Caitlin Jure is among the many students joining her principal to celebrate National Walk to School Day at Esperanza Elementary School. As a regular walker, she knows one of the most important rules.
I need to be careful to look both ways before I walk the street.
Students and officials gathered at 7th Street and Alvarado near MacArthur Park and walked about 3 blocks to their school on Little Street.
It's really something to just, as you're walking to school, to look behind you and just see hundreds and hundreds of families, a lot of them holding up posters saying, you know, we want safe streets for our students. What a powerful message.
It's the first time the school is celebrating this national event, which promotes walking and safety, but one that will be continued as a tradition. And of course, when walking to school, safety is a priority. Officials say while students should be aware of the rules, adults should also do their part as well.
As much as you want your son or your daughter to make sure they look both ways, really it's on us as parents to take our time. There's nothing that's worth injuring somebody while you're driving. So take your time, slow down, pay attention, be focused, and be aware that there are more and more students walking and biking to school.
Some hope that walking today will also help bring about changes needed near the school.
We've been trying really hard to get a crossing guard over here on this corner, right here, Little and 7th, because the cars just come around the corner and they don't stop, and so the kids, we're dodging.
But hopes are that these kinds of events will help spread the message of safety for not only kids and their parents, but drivers as well. In Los Angeles, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
This year marks the 20th anniversary of National Walk to School Day, which first started in Chicago. A month-long campaign promotes low-cost health services in Council District 1. A South LA community event raises awareness about the power of the vote, and exercising your furry best friend just got a lot easier thanks to a new addition to an off-leash dog park. All these stories in City Beat. Councilmember Gil Cedillo partnered with the Council General of Mexico in Los Angeles, more than 100 community health organizations, and the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health to launch Health Month 2016, taking place during October. The goal is to bring awareness about free or low-cost health services to the Latino community in Los Angeles.
We must all fight to make sure that we are healthy, because disease knows no borders nor boundaries.
Community Coalition recently hosted its 5th annual PowerFest Music and Art Festival at Martin Luther King Jr. Park. A host of community service providers were on hand, letting folks know what services they offer, from health screenings to voter registration and education. Community Coalition says this event is about bringing South LA residents together to strengthen their political voices and continue to improve the local neighborhoods.
To start focusing and investing in families as opposed to the problems.
It's really about activating a block of voters in South Los Angeles so that issues that are impacting poor and working communities throughout California and throughout this nation will actually be lifted and become more visible.
Good news for dog owners. New dog agility courses at the Sepulveda Basin Recreation Area are now open. The Department of Recreation and Parks recently unveiled the new addition to this dog park. Officials say the agility course will help provide unique training opportunities for pets and their owners at the largest off-leash dog park in Los Angeles. Boo at the LA Zoo serves up some spooky fun for the entire family. Strut your mutt while helping raise funds for animal charities, and a Victorian-era tradition comes alive. Or does it? All this in this week's Things to Do. It's that time again for ghosts, goblins, and everything spooky. The all-new Boo at the LA Zoo offers Halloween fun throughout October. Visitors wandering through the spooky surroundings can expect to unearth shocking facts about animals' superpowers, such as heightened senses that help them survive in their environments. Get frightened with a graveyard safari hay bale maze stocked with tombstones and silhouette cutouts of skunks, possums, raccoons, and other creatures that inhabit backyards in the dead of the night. There's also a boneyard education station, animal skeletons, and skulls. The festivities go on until October 31st. For more, visit lazoo.org. And here's your chance to spend some quality time with your best bud. The Best Friends Animal Society hosts Strut Your Mutt, the fundraising walk and festival that helps raise money for local animal welfare organizations in cities around the country. So leash up your pup, unleash that inner athlete, and join the fun. Runners will start ahead of walkers, and after the race, awards will be given to the first place male and female finishers, as well as their pups. The event takes place on Saturday, October 22nd at Exposition Park, located at 700 Exposition Park Drive. Visit strutyourmutt.org. History buffs step back in time for the 13th annual Halloween and Mourning Tour at the Heritage Square Museum. Learn all about death and mourning etiquette during the Victorian era, the movement of spiritualism, and how other cultures celebrate and remember their loved ones. From authentic Victorian attire to fortune-telling, this morbid affair is not to be missed. It all takes place on Saturday, October 22nd and Sunday, October 23rd at the Heritage Square Museum located at 3800 Homer Street. The event on Sunday is geared more for families and kids, where they can play games, do crafts, and listen to stories. For more, visit heritagesquare.org. And that's a look at some things to do. Well, that's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kay, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.